teams on it, yeah. Put teams on it, no. Right, I'll have to put teams on it then. No. Good evening and welcome to Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13 round 3 action as the Leeds Rhinos take on the Catalans Dragons. Quick run through the starting lineups for you. First Catalan, Clint Greenshields, Cyril Stakul, John Wilson, Adam Mogg, Dimitri Pello, Thomas Bosch, Casey Maguire, David Ferriel, Aaron Gorrell, Jerome Guisset, Dane Carlo, Alex Chan and Sebastian Reguin. For Leeds, they line up with Brent Webb on his 150th appearance, Lee Smith, Clinton Tupy, Keith Senior, Scott Donald, Danny Maguire, Rob Burrow, Kylie Luluai, Matt Diskin, Jamie Peacock, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Gareth Ellis and Kevin Sinfield. Rob Burrow is one try away for 100 for the Rhinos. There is a gale blowing down Headingley Carnegie tonight. It is blowing left to right as you look on the camera. It will be behind the Catalan Dragons in the first half, and it was described to me earlier as an 18-point breeze. As Kevin Sinfield gets us underway, low kick is going to be trapped by Maguire, and Maguire finds David Ferriel. Aaron Gorrell, who was injured against the Rhinos last season, which ended his season, gets it eventually to Alex Chan. 4 front row forwards in the starting lineup for the Catalan Dragons as Gorrell finds Chan. It was Guisset the tackle before. As Leeds struggles to bring him to down. Gorrell at dummy half finds Guisset again. Again, a few of the Leeds players opting for the long sleeves tonight as Maguire pops it out to David Ferriel, and they'll go to ground just short of halfway. This is last tackle signal by tonight's match official Ben Thaler, and Leeds struggling to clear the ruck, and here's Maguire on the last tackle and it's come out, and Ben Thaler's going to rule a knock on. It was Dane Carlo who dropped the ball as Ben Thaler orders. As Rob Burrow gives the call out as Diskin finds Peacock, and Peacock gets the Rhinos over halfway. Diskin at dummy half, pops it back for Jamie Jones, and here's the first penalty of the evening, and there's a little bit of afters going on in there, and it's Dane Carlo, I think, who's been pulled for it. Alex Chan's there. It's David Ferriel. My apologies to Dane Carlo. And with this breeze blowing in the face, Kevin Sinfield is going to tap the ball and fool everybody. It is a strong breeze. As Sinfield goes to ground, 26 away from the line in centre field. Diskin the dummy half. Comes the near side for Jamie Jones, and Jamie Jones gets away from Dane Carlo, but not from David Ferriel. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow out for Maguire. Maguire looking for the runners, gets Ellis back on the inside, and Gareth Ellis is going to be held up 10 metres away from the line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Catalan defenders in that tackle. Diskin at dummy half pops it out to Peacock, and Peacock is wrapped up, ball and all, 5 metres away from the line in centre field. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow, short pass for Jamie Jones, pops it out for Brent Webb, and Webb is going to be held up a metre or so short of the line. Jamie Jones will be the dummy half, finds Burrow. Burrow dabs it, pops a little kick in, looking for Ellis. Ellis has missed it, but it's been knocked dead by John Wilson, and Leeds will get a repeat set. And it's going to be Thomas Bosch with the goal line dropout for the Dragons. It's a line drive, win behind, will bounce in front of Webb, and Webb has 2 goals before he finds Luluai. Luluai charges back into the Catalan defence where he meets Ferriol. Webb at dummy half finds Peacock. Diskin at dummy half finds Jamie Jones Buchanan. Leeds looking to use this left side as successfully as they did at Wakefield last week. Diskin out for Burrow. Here is Maguire. Maguire gets Webb in round the back. Webb just can't get away from Thomas Bosch. Tupi at dummy half finds Sinfield. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Maguire at first receiver said he's already going high. This is going to hold up in the wind, and it's been knocked back off the feet, and this is going to be ruled a knock-on against Leeds, and Catalan will get the football back. Just inside the 20-metre line, and it's going to be former Queensland Origin star Adam Mogg to play the ball. Here's Ferriol. Gorrell at dummy half. Gets it for Dimitri Pello, the winger who's scored in this corresponding fixture 12 months ago. Exactly 12 months ago, Leeds were in the south of France and came off second best. Here is Alex Chan. Catalans, of course, made the Carnegie Challenge Cup final last year, where they were defeated by St Helens as Wilson goes crossfield, runs into Jérôme Guisset. Gorrell at dummy half will kick. He's outside the 40. It's going to bounce nicely for Webb, who fields on the 20. And Webb is met by Cyril Stackle. Burrow at dummy half finds Scott Donald. Sinfield at dummy half finds Ellis. Lee Smith in off the wing, looking for a bit of work. Good work from marker from Lee Smith. Gets the Rhinos over halfway. Burrow at dummy half goes on his own and scampers. And Leeds making plenty of metres on their set so far. Last tackle, Diskin at dummy half finds Sinfield, and Sinfield's kick holds up in this strong wind, and Greenshields is going to let the ball roll over sideline, and it's going to be head and feed for the Dragons. As Wilson from the base of the scrum pops it back to Dane Carlaw. Thomas Bosch is the dummy half. Comes this near side for David Ferriol. Gorrell at dummy half finds Alex Chan. Gorrell again at dummy half, pops it up for Jérôme Guisset, the former Warrington and Wigan star. Here's Maguire. Maguire pops it out back on the inside for Greenshields, and Clint Greenshields is in the clear. They're streaming through. Here's Wilson for Dimitri Pello. Dimitri Pello for the corner will score, and the Catalan Dragons are on the board. 7.5 minutes on the clock, and it's Dimitri Pello who gets in for the Dragons. All came from the break from Clint Greenshields. Wilson was on the outside, and Pello was there to finish at the corner. Pedro, it could be the wind having a bit of an effect as well there. Pedro, pop that goalkeeper. Pete, who's kicking this goal, mate? You can see better than me. And here is Tomas Bosch to attempt the conversion of the try by Dimitri Pello. He's right out on the northern touchline. Here is Bosch, kicks on its way, and this has got chances, and the flags are up here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13 in this round 3 clash. It's Leeds Rhinos 0, the Catalans Dragons 6. As Kevin Sinfield gets us back underway, this kick holds in the wind and taken by Maguire. Here's Ferriol. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire, and it's ruled round the chest by Ben Thaler as Alex Chan came in to investigate. Here's Jérôme Guisset. Wilson at dummy half goes on his own, pops it out for Ferriol and gets a thumping challenge from Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire out for Adam Mogg. Mogg looking to get round Senior, and he's wrapped up by Sinfield, but gets the Dragons into Leeds territory. Last tackle for the Catalans. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire, and Maguire just pops it up. This is a difficult kick to take tonight, and Lee Smith, superbly positioned, takes that well. Webb at dummy half goes to this near side. Webb pops it back for Ellis. Ellis turning, looking for support, sticks hold. Maguire at dummy half looks the short side for Clinton Tupy. Tupy has attempted to offload that, and he's going to rule a knock off against Clinton Tupy, and Leeds have turned the ball over in their own half. Ben Thaler not quite happy with something with the scrum. He's telling Aaron Gorrell to stick his head in. Gorrell from the base finds Tomas Bosch. Here is Mogg. Mogg looking to get on the outside for Greenshields. Mogg at dummy half finds Tomas Bosch out for Ferriol. Cries a forward from the south stand. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire gets it out for Carlo, and Carlo puts the ground 12 metres away from the line. Gorrell at dummy half, not the best pass. It's found Turf and Thomas Bosch, and Bosch is eventually wrapped up 15 away from the line. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Chan back for Maguire. Here's Wilson round the back. Wilson is put to ground 5 metres away from the line. Last tackle for the Catalans Dragons. Here's Maguire. Maguire for Carlo. Hint of a shepherd, and it's going to be a turnover on the last tackle. As here's a penalty, all the Catalan team caught offside. And I think Kevin Sinfield will tap this ball again. It is a strong wind. Here's Sinfield with the touch finder. Only gains about 10 metres. As Maguire finds Kylie Luluai on the 40-metre line. Diskin at dummy half finds Peacock, and Peacock gets the Rhinos to halfway. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow. Burrow going crossfield, looks to go underneath. Diskin at dummy half, finds Sinfield. Sinfield out for Ellis. And Gareth Ellis, 4 Catalan players involved in the challenge. 5 in fact, as Diskin from dummy half finds Tupi. Tupi sticks hold. Lee Smith had just overrun him a little. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Diskin finds Maguire. Maguire goes crossfield. It's going to come back in the wind. Straight to Donald. Donald, oh look, to pass, it's come out. Ball's come out. And referees ruled a knock on, and Leeds will turn the ball over. Oh, if Scott Donald could have got the pass out straight away. Play the ball's going to be on the 10-metre line. As Mogg from dummy half finds Maguire. Nearly spotted an opportunity to go from deep there. Mogg at dummy half, again coming up this short side. Gorrell gets into dummy half, finds Alex Chan. Gorrell again at dummy half, finds David Ferriol, short pass. Wasn't the best for Thomas Bosch. Gorrell at dummy half, finds Maguire. They're going to trying to use that little pop pass again there for Greenshields, but Diskin was alive to that. Last tackle for the Dragons on the 40. Gorrell finds Mogg, and Mogg puts the ball on the ground, and it's going to bounce and be fielded by Webb just inside the 20, and Webb eventually runs straight into Cyril Stackhoul. Donald at dummy half goes on his own, where he's wrapped up by Mogg from marker. Webb at dummy half finds Lee Smith in off the wing to help out. Diskin at dummy half finds Peacock, and Peacock gets over the 40. Diskin at dummy half pops it back to Maguire. Maguire just held on to by Adam Morgan. Here's a penalty against Adam Mogg for not releasing the foot of Danny Maguire and preventing a quick play of the ball, and Danny Maguire's not happy about something. I think he was expecting a bit of support from his teammates. And Kevin Sinfield with the touch finder. It's safely in there, and Leeds will start about 25 away from the Catalans line. Burrow finds Luluai, and Luluai gets Leeds inside the Dragons 20. Diskin at dummy half finds Jamie Jones Buchanan. Diskin finds Burrow. Burrow out for Maguire. Maguire finds Webb coming in round the back. Leeds just a little disorganised. Webb with the dummy, can't get on the outside. Tupi at dummy half finds Ellis. Ellis straightens up, takes the line on his own. Gareth Ellis. Again, there's 5 players involved in this challenge. Change coming for the Catalans Dragons. Gregory Mooney is about to join us as Burrow. Burrow going crossfield, long pass out for Donald. Defence has slid from the Catalan. Here's Maguire. Maguire dancing, looking for runners, pops it back to Sinfield, who has a bit of a juggle and straightens up. Sinfield out for Jamie Jones. Jamie Jones out for Burrow. Burrow to Senior. Senior to Donald for the corner, and Leeds are back in this game. 17 minutes on the clock, and Scott Donald goes in for the Rhinos. Okay, from enterprising offloading, ball from Jamie Jones Buchanan to Burrow was sublime. Burrow to Senior, and Senior gives his wing partner a walk in at the corner. Donald. Dimitri. Who's come off Pedro, please? Can you give me that again, please? And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt right on the southern touchline into this howling gale. Sinfield kicks on its way and it's been blown right across the face of the post. But with 18.5 minutes here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium, Engage Super League 13, it's a round 3 clash. It's Leeds Rhinos 4, Catalans Dragons 6. And a substitution for the Catalan Dragons. Gregory Mooney in jumper 13 has come on, and that is going to sail all the way out. Wind's caught hold of it, and there's going to be a penalty on halfway for the Rhinos. And Leeds are going to run this from here. It's going to be a big boot from Kevin Sinfield to find touch. It's certainly giving it a thump, and Leeds will start 30 metres away from the Dragons half. 2 footballs on the field. Ben Thaler will call a halt to proceedings. And Burrow this time finds Peacock. And Peacock gets to the 20-metre line. Diskin at dummy half. Pops it back to Luluai. And Aaron Gorrell was a little slow to his feet there as Diskin finds Sinfield, pops it up for Jamie Jones. And Leeds again 5 metres away from the Catalan line. Diskin at dummy half. Long pass finds Burrow. Burrow out for Peacock. Peacock for the corner. Jamie Peacock just brought to ground a couple of metres short. Tupi at dummy half decides to go on his own. Lee Smith at dummy half finds Burrow. Over Burrow said. It's picked up by Sinfield as the wind really begins to rattle about here, and there's going to be a penalty here. And Aaron Gorrell is in there. Ben Thaler, who's he going to pick out? David Ferriol is in there. Casey Maguire, the captain, gets pulled out first. Matt Diskin's having a word. And it's gone on report. And Leeds are going to run it. Diskin finds Luluai. Diskin at dummy half. Finds Burrow. Burrow out for Maguire. Maguire, long pass to Senior. Senior for the corner, and Leeds have scored. 21 minutes on the clock, and it's Keith Senior who gets the second try of the night for the Leeds Rhinos, all coming from the quick tap penalty. Good handling skills in this weather from the Rhinos. Senior had Donald on his outside, but takes the dummy and crashes over in the corner himself. Senior for And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt for the Rhinos. Again, he is right on the southern touchline again. Kicks on its way, it's blending round, and it's just gone the other side of the post. 22.5 minutes on the clock here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13, round 3. It's Leeds Rhinos 8, the Catalan Dragons 6. And movement on the Rhinos bench. Ryan Bailey is preparing to come into the game as Thomas Bosch this time just puts a little dirty cutter in as Peacock will bring this kickoff back for the Rhinos. Gets to the 20-metre line. Willie Porchin is on the pitch. Here's Diskin, finds Burrow, pops it up for Jamie Jones-Buchanan. As Diskin finds Kylie Luluai. Diskin at dummy half, finds Peacock on the charge. Peacock pops it out for Diskin. Here's Tupi. Tupi flings it in field to Maguire. Maguire carrying the ball in one hand. Diskin at dummy half. Goes on his own. Good work from Matt Diskin. Gets the Rhinos over halfway. Last tackle. Sinfield just kicks it high, and it's just going to hold up in the wind. Is it going to stick in the in-goal area? It's not. It's going to roll over the 20, and the Catalan Dragons will have a 20-metre restart. Mogg gets us back underway and finds Clint Greenshields. Balls come out, and it's going to be a penalty for the Dragons. It's actually Cyril Stakul who lost the ball in that challenge, and it's been ruled as a rip. Matthew Griffey is about to join us on field. As Casey Maguire with the touch finder gets the Dragons to halfway. Gorrell finds Carlaw, and here's another penalty against the Rhinos, this time for offside. As Maguire with the touch finder. Gorrell finds Maguire. Here's Alex Chan. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire for Greenshields, and Greenshields gets to within about 8 of the line. Gorrell at dummy half finds Alex Chan. Rob Burrow screaming at people to get to this southern side. Gorrell at dummy half goes on his own. Aaron Gorrell is just held up short. Mooney at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire for Bosch. Here's Mogg, and Mogg's just dropped it, and the Leeds defence survives back-to-back penalties. And Alex Chan's picked up a bit of a knock. He's making his way gingerly back to the scrum. As Catalans trying to get the scrum organised, Alex Chan is really struggling out there, and Ben Thaler telling him to get his head in. Burrow will now feed the scrum. Sinfield from the base gets it out for Clinton Tupi. Diskin at dummy half finds Bailey, and Bailey fights his way to the 20-metre line. Diskin at dummy half pops it back for Peacock. Jamie Peacock ever eager for work. Burrow at dummy half scoots away, pops it back for Sinfield. Diskin at dummy half. Poor short pass for Ellison. Ellis has lost it, and Leeds will turn it over in their own half and will pack a scrum down. And Alex Chan still complaining, the Catalan trainer's on. Ball's out as Maguire pops it back to Thomas Bosch. Gorrell at dummy half finds Alex Chan, who looks to have recovered. Gorrell at dummy half finds Bosch back for Wilson. Gorrell at dummy half. Pops it out for Maguire. Maguire to Bosch. And Bosch goes to ground on halfway, on the 20-metre line. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire, not the best pass for Mooney. Mooney gets it out to Raguin. Here's Wilson. Wilson dabs the little kick through. Brent Webb's forced to deal with, and it's gone out. And there'll be a scrum down on the 10-metre line. 2 changes coming for the Rhinos. Ian Kirk and Carl Ablett. I would guess Peacock on one of the second rows. Leeds looking to make a couple of changes on the back of this scrum. Ian Kirk and Carl Ablett are on sideline. As Sinfield from the base finds Clinton Tupy. Burrow at dummy half finds Peacock. Gareth Ellis is the first one to go off, and Carl Ablett comes on. Diskin at dummy half, trying to get away from the markers, and a penalty's coming here from Ben Thaler for not being square, and Jamie Peacock is the other one to go to sideline, and Ian Kirk will make his way on. Sinfield taps it for Ryan Bailey. Webb at dummy half goes and finds Ablett. And Carl Ablett's lost it in the challenge, and it's Wilson who's forced the error from Carl Ablett, and will pack a scrum down just this side, the lead side of halfway. A further substitution about to come from the Dragons. Remy Casti in jumper 24 about to come in as Maguire finds Boss. Here's Mogg. Greenshields at dummy half finds Boss, tips it out for Carlaw. Dane Carlaw alongside Olivia Alima, the only 2 arrivals at the Stars Gilbert Brutus in the close season. Gorrell at dummy half finds Matthew Griffey. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire out for Boss. Here's Wilson. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Here's Muniz. It's opened up for Gregory Muniz, and what a tackle. Oh, and he's got it out, but Maguire is going to be trapped in goal. Brent Webb saved 4 points. Danny Maguire then saves 4 points. The offload from Mooney was sublime, but unfortunately it went just to Danny Maguire instead. And there's a Catalan player down in centre field who doesn't look well at all. It's Mathieu Griffey, Jérôme Guisset. It's Mathieu Griffey who is down at the moment. This is what is causing the delay. And sad sight of Mathieu Griffey being helped from the field, and it's going to be Jérôme Guisset who will come on for the Dragons. This ball's blowing all over the place, and it's going to be a goal line dropout for Kevin Sinfield, just waiting for Mathieu Griffey to leave the scene. Ben Thaler blows time on, and Sinfield with the goal line dropout gets good distance on it in the conditions. It's fielded by Mooney, gets it out for Remy Casti, and Casti gets through the first couple of challenges and has Greenshields on his inside. Leeds suddenly on the back foot. Bosch at dummy half finds Jérôme Guisset, who's just returned from a spell on the interchange, and here's a penalty, and it's for a grapple tackle. Catalan looking to get on with it as Remy Casti runs into Ryan Bailey, and time off called by Ben Thaler as he pulls the 2 players out who've just had a little collision. Nothing more than a collision. And the Catalan have a penalty. Here is Remy Casti. And Casti will go to ground 3 metres away from the line. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Here is Thomas Bosch. Here's Greenshields in round the back. Greenshields with the dummy, pops it back in for Cyril Stackhoul, and Stackhoul will go to ground a couple of metres from the line. Here's Mogg. It's now with Gregory Muniz. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire dabs a little kick through, and Sinfield will claim the ball. And Sinfield are attempting to drive him back. Here's Webb. Finds Tupi. Leeds camp down at their own end of the park. Ali Lawatiti is about to come on, and Leeds get the penalty to relieve the pressure. As Jamie Jones-Buchanan goes to sideline for the Rhinos, and Ali Lawatiti will make his first appearance tonight as Burrow finds Carl Ablett. Tupi at dummy half finds Ian Kirk. Kirk with the offload for Webb. Suddenly Leeds are on a roll. Burrow at dummy half. They've got numbers this side. Here is Lawatiti. Big roar from the South Standers. Big Ali gets his first run of the night. Burrow at dummy half. Here is a penalty, and Lawatiti's lashed out at Casey Maguire. Jean-Philippe Bale is about to join us on the field, as well as Ben Thaler's going to have a quick word with Ali Lawatiti and Stacey Maguire. It's Stacey Maguire he wants first. Ali Lawatiti's grinning and laughing at Casey Maguire. And Adam Mogg's in there as well. And he's going to have a quick... He's not going to have a word with Ali Lawatiti. And Leeds are going to get on with it. Here is Lawatiti again. Big roar from the South Stand again as Lawatiti goes charging in. There's again 4 defenders in there for the Dragons. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow. Burrow finds Maguire. Maguire looks to take the line on. That was high from Remy Casti, and here's a penalty. And Ryan Bailey has spotted it's Remy Casti and has gone straight through in his own investigation. And Ben Thaler's going to pull Remy Casti out. He's telling Matt Diskin to calm down. South Stand are getting a little aggregated down below us. And Leeds will have a penalty and they'll run it. Here is Bailey. Bailey gets 4 metres away from the line. Diskin at dummy half finds Ian Kirk. Ian Kirk for the line. He's going to go over. Super body strength from Ian Kirk. And Ian Kirk gets the 3rd try of the night for the Rhinos. It looked like he'd lost the collision to the 2 Catalan defenders, but Ian Kirk was able to spin round and get over for the 3rd Leeds Rhinos try of the night. And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt for the Rhinos, just to the side of the post. Kicks on its way, and the flags are up here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13. It's a round 3 clash. It's Leeds Rhinos 14, the Catalans Dragons 6. As Thomas Bosch gets us back underway with just a little dab kick as Maguire fields and finds the last try scorer, Ian Kirk. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow out for Lawatiti, and Lawatiti just tripped up by Maguire. Diskin at dummy half goes this short side, and Senior pops it back to Diskin. Here's Lawatiti again, and Lawatiti runs over the top of a very angry Remy Casti. He's all over the place at the moment as Senior Diskin finds Senior. Senior gets through the first challenge of Maguire as Jean-Philippe Bale holds on for dear life. Diskin at dummy half finds Sinfield. Sinfield with the long ball, not the best for Maguire, and he's upended by Gregory Mooney. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow. Last tackle, Burrow just boots the ball downfield. It's gone over the top of Greenshields. Is it going to bounce nice? It is. And Dimitri Pello, can he get out? He has done good work from the winger. Greenshields at dummy half goes on his own. Couple of minutes out from half time as Cyril Stakul in off the wing, and Stakul's lost it, and here's a chance. Leeds suddenly coming to get this scrum formed up. Ryan Bailey shouting everybody in. Brent Webb's in there, and Ben Thaler will call time off. As Burrow feeds this scrum, Sinfield at dummy half finds Maguire. Here's Webb back for Maguire. Maguire's got on the outside, and Adam Mogg does well to bring Danny Maguire to ground. Webb at dummy half finds Lawatiti. Lawatiti powering for the line. He's going to be held up a couple of metres short. Diskin at dummy half goes on his own. Matt Diskin's over. Ball's come out, and he's going to rule a knock on over the line, and it'll be a 20-metre restart for the Catalans Dragons. Here's Gorrell. Ignores Guisset. Gorrell gets to the 30-metre line. We're into injury time at the end of this first half here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium as Dimitri Pello goes from dummy half. Bosch at dummy half. Here's Gorrell at dummy half. It's Dimitri Pello again at dummy half. Gets just over halfway. Gorrell at dummy half goes for Thomas Bosch. Dabs the little kick through. It's come off the hands of Lee Smith, and Lee Smith does really well to pick the ball up under pressure from Wilson. Webb at dummy half goes for Clinton Tupy. Webb at dummy half finds Bailey. Diskin at dummy half finds Sinfield. Sinfield tries to get the arms free. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow. Here's Maguire. Maguire for Lawatiti. Lawatiti puts the gas on. Just can't get the ball away. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Donald at dummy half finds Maguire. That's come off a French player. It's been tipped back, and it's going to be ball on. Leeds will get another set. Ian Kirk has got the ball for the Rhinos. Lawatiti at dummy half goes on his own, and again 4 defenders in there for the Dragons, and here's a penalty, and Jerome Guisset has got 10 minutes in the sin bin, and the hoot has just gone. Now Guisset gets 10 minutes in the bin, hoot has gone. Rhinos will get the penalty. It is the last play of the half. The hooter has gone. I don't know if Ben's heard it. Here's Sinfield. Sinfield dabs a little kicking over the top, and it's been taken by Greenshields. This is the last play of the first half, and Greenshields has got away. Here's Dimitri Pello. Pello puts boots the ball. That's going to roll over the sideline, and that's it. Half time here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium in this Engage Super League 13 clash. It's Leeds Rhinos 14, the Catalan Dragons 6. Stick with us. We'll be back with the second half shortly.
So, half-time, Headingley Carnegie, and up towards the Carnegie stand this half-time. We'll see a minimum game taking place. And more welcome to Year 5 from Melbourne Storm Catholic Primary School and Adele Primary School. Let's have a both sides. Please give them your full support during the half-time game of Mini. Now then, time for half-time golden gamble draw. £1,021 is up for grabs. Tickets on sale before each FPL game for just £1 each. And tonight's prize on the golden gamble, £1,021. Young Sean Ben has made the draw, and he's made somebody over a grand richer. So, you have your golden gamble tickets. The winning number tonight, winning £1,021, is golden gamble ticket number 7150150 is tonight's golden gamble winning number. That's you, and you can make your names the players tunnel. Please do so now. You can check out the young Sean Ben, who's just made you over for a grand richer. 71550 for the tickets. Go on, make your own, and head to the main office after the game and claim your prize. So, a week tonight, Rhinos are taking a break from the Engage Super League to take on a slightly different kind of opposition. Competition from down under. Melbourne Storm, to be precise, the Australian champions. Next Friday at Ellen Road in the Carnegie Royal Club Challenge. There will be movement for the game. The newly launched Leeds Rhinos away shirt, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't look as good on them as it does on radio air, gas TV. We'll be on to the pitch right now. Today, we've got one of these brand new away shirts to give away. To be able to chance to win this prize, grab your mobile phone. It's a text to win competition. All you need to do is text the word Rhinos, followed by the answer to this very simple question to 81700. It'll cost you £1, and the lines close at full time. Get texted the answer to this question. The question is, at which sporting venue will the Melbourne Club Challenge be held next Friday? Simple as that. It's a local game, I'll give you that clue. But which sporting venue will the Melbourne Club Challenge be held next Friday? To enter, text the word Rhinos, followed by your answer to 81700. Text us about the close at full time for tonight, so get texting now. 81700 Rhinos, followed by the venue of which next week's World Club Challenge game will be held. The Carnegie World Club Challenge. Only got £2. The prize is a brand new Leeds Rhinos away shirt. If you don't win one, then they are on sale from the Headingley shop. The price of £29.99 for juniors and £39.99 ladies' fit and adult shirts. We haven't ready for our next Friday, but there's still time to buy your ticket. A handful remain. You can buy your first one for TikTok tonight or call 08700 60 60 50, or you can buy online anytime on the website. Melbourne Storm, one round in England, they are taking on Halifax tonight in their World Cup fixtures in the game. But don't forget, you can put yourself an away shirt and wear the club colours that they will be wearing on the night of the Carnegie World Cup Challenge. Just by texting the answer to the question, where will the Carnegie World Cup Challenge be held next Friday night? So text the word Rhinos, followed by your answer to 81700. Text us off the pound, and the lines will close at the full time meeting. done, so I know I can explain the rules of this in French to Reading. So, Robbie, if you will, Robbie needs to catch this. It's best out of 3. Let's go first with Wayne for Leeds. Robbie, launch that ball. Inside for the angle, Wayne, easy. Straight down his goal, no problem at all. So, 1-0 to Leeds Rhinos. Ready? Your turn. You see how it's done. Ready? Are you ready? Wait. One shot, ready? Whoa! Well done, Robbie. So, Wayne. White and Melbourne Storm. Wayne, are you ready? And you make your turn to Robbie, let's go. It's a busy there. Rob Wayne against Melbourne. Oh, nearly got it. We'll get going with 2 more. Ready? Your turn to make it 2 more. Robbie, watch that ball. with whistle throw. So next week the Rhinos against Melbourne Storm on Adam Road in the Carnegie World Challenge. Next on Wednesday, the Engage Super League is Catalans Dragons at the Jungle on Friday the 7th of March. We're waiting a year or so for a trip to the Jungle as a chance to visit there again. Friday the 7th of March, 7:30 is the kickoff. It's a price of £8 for concessions, £15 for adults in the standing areas, £11 concessions, £18 for adults in the seated areas. We're recommending final tickets in advance from the Leeds Rhinos. Back to tonight's game, however, we can please welcome back to the field in the second half, the Catalans Dragons.
And welcome back to the second half here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Leeds 14 points to 6 to the good as we await the whistle of Ben Thaler to get us underway for the second half. Here we go as Thomas Boss gets us underway. Here's Maguire, finds Ian Kirk. Leeds now have this strong wind behind their back in the second half as Bailey takes it in for the Rhinos, and he's lost it in the challenge of Remy Casti. Mogg at dummy half finds Muni. Not the best start to the second half for the Rhinos. Bosk at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire takes the line on and just grabbed by Ian Kirk, 22 away from the line. Gorrell at dummy half finds Remy Casti. Of course, Catalan down to 12 at the moment. Jerome Guisset currently having 10 minutes in the sin bin as Maguire finds Boss out for Adam Mogg on the far side. Last tackle for the Dragons. Here's Maguire. Maguire dabs the kick in over the top, and it's going to be taken on the full by Maguire in the in goal. Here is Diskin. Diskin finds Sinfield. Sinfield goes on his own. I think Sinfield was after the ball to put the kick on then. Smith at dummy half goes on his own. Webb at dummy half goes on his own, gets the Rhinos to halfway. Diskin at dummy half finds Burrow. Here's Maguire. Maguire pops it out for Lauatiti. Lauatiti's in the clear. Rob Burrow's been pulled back and referee's going to give play on, and Adam Mogg will recover. Aaron Gorrell just got a handful of shirt to Rob Burrow then before that pass arrived. As Jamie Peacock comes on for the Rhinos, Ian Kirk is the man who's gone off. As the Dragons bring it away from their own line with Cyril Stakul. Pello at dummy half goes on his own, gets the Dragons 33 away from their own line. Mogg at dummy half finds Thomas Boss out for Sebastian Raguin, who played against the Rhinos for Toulouse Olympique in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup in 2005 as Gorrell goes from dummy half. Last tackle for the Catalans Dragons on halfway. Mogg at dummy half finds Thomas Boss. Boss goes the low route, and it's not a bad kick, and Webb Fields 13 away from the line, and It's not a bad chase either, with Stachul and Bale leading the charge. Senior at dummy half finds Scott Donald. Maguire at dummy half tries the short side, and Senior dumps it off to Lauatiti, and Lauatiti looked to offload but decides to stick hold. Maguire disking at dummy half finds Maguire. Here's Peacock. Diskin at dummy half. Good run from Matt Diskin, taken on the 40-metre line. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Webb at dummy half will just get out and stick the ball on the left boot, and this is a good kick. It's bouncing away, and Greenshield's looking to leave it, decides to field 3 metres deep in his in goal, and it's Webb who leads the chase, and he puts his opposite number to ground with Clinton Tupy. Wilson at dummy half. As Lee Smith sneaks into fullback and Brent Webb goes onto the wing. Mogg at dummy half goes on his own, looks to run at Rob Burrow, and Burrow tigerishly brings him to ground. Last tackle, Cyril Stachul at dummy half finds Maguire, and Maguire just puts the ball on the ground. It's going to be fielded by Lee Smith, who's just taken that fullback position of Brent Webb temporarily. Donald at dummy half goes on his own, straightens up into the Catalan defence. Diskin at dummy half finds Sinfield, out for Ablett. 5 short of halfway. Diskin at dummy half finds Peacock. Diskin at dummy half finds Webb. Here is Maguire. Maguire looking for Tupy. Tupy gets it out for Smith. Lee Smith up the south stand touchline, inside for Sinfield. Sinfield has dropped it, and we're going to come back for a knock on. And the Catalan will have head and feed on the 10-metre line. Lee Smith with the break down the southern touchline, and Kevin Sinfield just unable to take it in. Maguire feeds the scrum. Wilson from the base gets it out, and that's been stolen. 1-on-1 against Cyril Stachul. Bailey finds Donald. Donald for the corner. Donald will score and leads her in. 5 minutes on the clock in the second half. All came from the ball steal in centre field. Pops out into Ryan Bailey. Bailey finds Scott Donald, and Donald gets in at the corner for the first Rhinos try of the second half.
Scoring his second try today for Leeds Rhinos, number 2, Scott Donald.
And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt for the Rhinos. He's right on the northern touchline. He's going to hope to swing this one in on the breeze that's blowing down the stadium tonight. Kicks on its way, and he's not given it enough to do. Waved away here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engaged Super League 13. We're at the round 3 stage. It's Leeds Rhinos 18, the Catalan Dragons 6. And it's Thomas Bosch who gets us back underway. He's gone for the high kick-off, and Sinfield and Maguire looked at each other, and again Sinfield takes control of the situation, offloads to Webb, and Brent Webb will go to ground. Catalan trying to use the wind to get the ball back as Peacock disking at dummy half, catches the markers asleep and gains an easy 10-11 metres for the Rhinos, as Remy Casti came in like a bullet from nowhere. And Casti is after seconds again, and Remy Casti's an agent provocateur at the moment as Maguire dabs that kick over the top, and it's going to find the sideline. He was outside the 40, I think. It's not going to be a 40-20, no it's not. Ben Thaler has pulled Remy Casti out. He's just going to have a quick word. John Wilson's there for probably to interpret. And John Wilson is playing the role of interpreter there for Remy Casti. As Bailey gets his head into the scrum, Wilson from the base finds Cyril Stakulu. Lost the ball last time in this situation. Wilson at dummy half. Guisset is about to return from the sin bin, which has cost the Catalan 4 points. Here is Bale. As they try the short side with Wilson out for Mogg. Mogg almost gets clear of, on that far side it was Sinfield who dragged him to ground. Here is Thomas Bosch, here is Remy Casti, who's been the villain of the piece here tonight so far as the Leeds fans are concerned. Last tackle for the Dragons, it's with Thomas Bosch. Just dabs it in, it's not going to bounce nicely, and Webb picks up superbly and can't get away from Sebastian Reguin. Maguire at dummy half finds Lee Smith. Webb at dummy half finds Bailey. Diskin finds Clinton Tupy. Tupy pops it up to Ablett. Ablett gets round Wilson but not Jérôme Guisset. And Ablett still has the legs going. Ablett still going and gets an extra 3-4 metres after contact. Diskin again looks for this short side. Pops it back to Smith, and Smith just ankle tapped by Thomas Bosch. Last tackle, here is Maguire, and Maguire puts it up. This is a big test for Cyril Stakula. Well taken by the young wingers. He's taken to ground by Ryan Bailey. Catalan looking to make a change. Casti off, 24, Casti off. As Remy Casti goes to sideline. Mogg at dummy half finds Dimitri Pello. Looks like Dane Carlo who's come on. As Dorrell from dummy half puts the kick in down the sideline, and it's gone straight into touch and will pack a scrum down. It's David Ferriol who's come on for the Dragons, as Sinfield from the base finds Scott Donald. Sinfield at dummy half pops it up for Peacock. Diskin at dummy half finds Bailey out for Lauatiti, bounces off Adam Mogg. Leeds are looking to make a change. Ryan Bailey goes to sideline. Kylie Luluai will come back on. Here's Carl Ablett, and that's going to be A high shot against Carl Ablett, and yet another penalty for the Leeds Rhinos. Discipline hasn't been the best from the visitors tonight. As the ball being kicked away by Aaron Gurrell. As Gareth Ellis will get back into the game shortly as well. Here's Burrow, tips it back for Luluai. Kevin Sinfield is going to sideline for a breather. Diskin at dummy half, finds Lauatiti. Lauatiti gets through the first couple, doesn't have the support on his shoulder. And Lauatiti's ruled to have lost the ball by referee Thaler. As Maguire feeds a scrum, Mogg from the base finds Sebastian Ragwan, and Ragwan being driven back by the Rhinos defence. Ellis leading the charge. Here's that's Gise underneath there. Gorrell from dummy half, and Gorrell now being driven back by three Rhinos defenders, and Catalan have made no ground at all so far. Maguire at dummy half finds Mogg. Mogg with the dummy. Mogg trying to break clear. He's just pulled to ground on the 20-metre line. Maguire will kick out of dummy half. It's going to hold up in the wind, taken by Webb on halfway, and Webb will surrender just over the halfway line. Here comes a change for the Rhinos. Jamie Jones looking to get back into the game. As Matt Diskin goes to sideline. Webb at dummy half, pops it out for Luluai. Jamie Jones has just sneaked back on for Matt Diskin as Burrow gets it out to Maguire. Maguire looks to get through the big men in Ferriol and Gise, but can't. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Peacock. And Peacock will go to ground 10 metres away from the Catalans line. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Here's Burrow. Burrow, long pass for Webb. Did well to take that, did Brent Webb, but he's not going to be able to get this ball out. He's wrapped up, and it's a turnover, and Catalans will get the football back. Here is David Ferriol. Dimitri Pello at dummy half goes on his own. Gorrell at dummy half finds Stakul. Oh, big hit from Kylie Luluai on Cyril Stakul. Credit to the man, he got back up again, but certainly felt that one from Luluai. Catalans with Wilson. Wrapped up by Tupi and Burrow on halfway. It's the furthest they've been downfield for a while as Pello finds Maguire. Gorrell goes to ground. Last tackle for the Catalan Dragons. Maguire at dummy half finds Thomas Boss, and Boss's kick goes straight down the throat of Scott Donald, and Donald finds a gap. Donald just clung onto by Adam Mogg. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Lauatiti. Burrow at dummy half finds Luluai. Luluai charges through some tired looking Catalan defence. They did a lot of work in the first half. Burrow at dummy half finds Peacock. Peacock pops it back. Burrow misses it first time, recovers well. Burrow doesn't get away from Cyril Stakul or from Bale. Here's Jonesy at dummy half, finds Maguire. Maguire, oh, no push on the shoulder. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Webb. Webb goes crossfield with a kick, looking for Smith, and Pello will field in the in goal. Here's Dimitri Pello. Here's Gorrell at dummy half. Out for Ferriol. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire out for Jean-Philippe Bale. Catalan looking to make a change. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Bale off 26. As Brent Webb fumbles it into the in goal, and Webb just about gets back into the field of play. As Donald is picked up and dragged back, it's going to be a penalty, and he's going to rule that Donald was tackled before being dragged back into the in goal. As Maguire with the touch finder, Leeds will start on the 20-metre line. Maguire finds Lauatitis, urging his troops forward. Daniel Maguire. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Peacock. Not the best play of the ball from Peacock, but Burrow finds Jones Buchanan. And here's yet another penalty against the Catalan Dragons. And it's against Jérôme Guisset for a hand across the face. As Burrow puts the ball onto the north stand roof, Leeds will start 30 away from the Catalan line. Here is Luluai out for Jamie Jones Buchanan. Burrow at dummy half finds Luluai, and Luluai keeps the legs pumping, goes to ground, 11 away from the line. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire back up the inside for Webb. Webb pops it out to Luluai. Jamie Jones Buchanan immediately wrapped up, and he's lost it in the challenge, and Jérôme Guisset will play on, gets it out to Sebastian Raguin. Raguin out for Wilson. Catalan looking to counter-attack. Mogg at dummy half finds Stachul, and here's a penalty. It's against one of the two lads. It's for slipping up in the tackle, forcing it into a grapple, and Thomas Bosch will go for touch. And this wind seems to have dropped a little bit here at Headingley. It's definitely not as bad as it was earlier, as David Ferriol takes it in for the Dragons. Thomas Bosch tips it back to Jérôme Guisset. Gorrell finds Maguire out for Alex Chan. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire out for David Ferriol, and Senior there with Jamie Jones on the defence. Gorrell at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire out for Alex Chan, and it's last tackle for the Dragons. Gorrell at dummy half finds Thomas Bosch. Bosch with the banana kick. It's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce the right way for Brent Webb, and Leeds will come back for a 20-metre restart. And there's no ball on at the moment. Lee Smith's got one. 2 balls on the pitch now. Rob Burrow didn't know which one to catch. Still 2 balls on the pitch, so Ben Thaler decides to wait as Peacock takes it in for the Rhinos. 18 minutes left here at Headingley. Leeds still 18-6 to the good, as Ellis Ellis drives, gets that extra 2-3 metres after contact. Burrow at dummy half, pops it back to Luluai. Webb at dummy half, finds Lawatiti, short pass for Ablett, ruled across the chest. Jamie Jones at dummy half, finds Maguire, pops it up for Peacock, and Peacock straightens up, and here's Brent Webb. Webb against Greenshields, out from Maguire, and Leeds are going to score their second try of the second half. 23.5 minutes on the clock. All comes from the brilliance of Brent Webb. It was Webb who gets the offload, gets the pass out for Maguire, and Danny Maguire slides under the post. And Brent. And as Rob Burrow takes this kick, Brent Webb is being taken from the field, bleeding after what could have been a late challenge in the build-up to the try. Rob Burrow will have the conversion attempt. The doctor's on his way down to have a look at Webb. Here is Burrow with the conversion. Flags are up here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13. We're at the round 3 stage. It's Leeds Rhinos 24, the Catalans Dragons 6. As Tom, our boss, gets us back underway again, looking to use this wind as Jamie Jones Buchanan. And it's fallen for Thomas Bosch. And a penalty against Gareth Ellis for not clearing the ruck. And Brent Webb's gone straight up the tunnel. Gorrell at dummy half, finds Sebastian Reguin. Gorrell at dummy half, finds Maguire. Here's Greenshields. Greenshields for the line is just going to be held up short. And Greenshields has lost it in his attempt to play the ball quickly. My source on the touchline says Brent Webb was bleeding from the mouth as he was led straight up the tunnel. It's a scrum to the Rhinos on their own 10-metre line. As Sinfield from the base finds Clinton Tupy, good hit. Here's Ellis. As here's Donald. Burrow at dummy half, finds Jamie Jones. Oh, the ball for Ablett, just a little bit too high. Senior will kill it, and we'll come back for a scrum. As from the scrum, it's with Tom Boss. Boss pops it out for Wilson. Wilson for Greenshields. Good offload from John Wilson. Leeds have used 10 substitutes so far. Remy Casti about to come back in. Here's Jérôme Guisset. It looks like Gise is going to be the man to come off, as Gorrell, not the best pass. Who's going to get there? One of the two. Lost that backwards is Mogg, and it's going to be all on for the Dragons. Here's Ferriol, as Remy Casti comes back on for the Catalans. Here's Gorrell, finds Alex Chan. Chan out for Mogg. Mogg, long ball to Stakul. Stakul puts a little kick in over the top. Rob Burrow is going to be grounded in the in goal, and it'll be a goal line dropout for the Leeds Rhinos. As Sinfield with the goal line dropout. 14,083 spectators here at Headingley tonight. As Greenshields goes from dummy half. Ball's come out, and it's going to be a penalty. And it's ruled it's been stolen in the tackle. As Casey Maguire puts the ball into the corner, Catalan are going to have a go at the Leeds line. Here's Casti, and Casti gets 8 away from the line. Here is Maguire. Maguire pops it out for David Ferriol. And Ferriol eventually falls to ground. Here's Gorrell at dummy half. Gorrell goes on his own. Aaron Gorrell is going to be ruled just short. There's Maguire. Maguire finds Wilson. Wilson up against Maguire, and Tupi's there to help out, and now Lauatiti as well. Last tackle. Here's Maguire for Thomas Bosch. Bosch just dabs it in, and it's been dropped by Lauatiti, and Catalan will get another set of sixes. Lauatiti attempted to kick the ball away in frustration, but missed spectacularly. As Maguire from the base of the scrum finds Adam Mogg. Mogg pops it out for Greenshields. Rob Burrow just clings on for life as Mogg at dummy half finds Gorrell, missed by Jamie Jones. Here's Ferriol for Alex Chan. Here's Maguire, and Maguire runs into Lauatiti, and Thaler gives the Catalans a penalty for offside. Bosch finds Alex Chan. It's a Catalan player down in centre field. Here's Gorrell. Oh, it's been picked by Lee Smith, and Smith just can't. He's had it stolen by Dimitri Pello, and he's got it back, but that's going to be play on. It was 1-on-1. Here's Tupi. Tupi finds Maguire. Maguire decides to stick hold. Trying to find the injured Catalan player is Stacey Maguire, who's down. Here's Bailey out for Lauatiti. Here's Ablett. Ablett with the dummy. He's got Senior. Senior on the outside, and Keith Senior's going to pick his second try of the afternoon up. Super counter-attacking from the Rhinos. Carl Ablett with the money ball for Keith Senior, and Senior gets down the northern touchline to pick his second try of the afternoon up. And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt for the Rhinos. Casey Maguire still getting attention from the trainers. Sinfield with the conversion attempt. 7 minutes left here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13. It's Leeds Rhinos 30, the Catalan Dragons 6. Change on the field for the Rhinos. Kylie Luluai, has returned for Jamie Peacock. As Thomas Boss gets us underway, deeper kick this time. Maguire finds Bailey, and Bailey with the big fend. Jean-Philippe Bale has sneaked back on for Casey Maguire. Big loss for the Dragons. That is Lauatiti looks to get his way through, and he's lost the ball. No, he's not. He's had it stolen. As Leeds with this penalty deep in their own half, it's going to be Sinfield with the touch finder, and Leeds will start on halfway. As Burrow finds Big Kylie, and Luluai gets 15 metres upfield for the Rhinos. Burrow at dummy half finds Maguire. Maguire out for Sinfield. Sinfield pops it back to Maguire. Here is Ellis. Ellis bumps off Dimitri Pello, goes back crossfield, straightens up, looks for an offload but can't find it. And the ball's come out, and surely Jean-Philippe Bale has stolen it. 2-on-1. Here's Mog at dummy half, finds Alex Chan. Gorrell at dummy half, finds Wilson. Gorrell at dummy half, finds Bosk, and it's a high tackle on Remy Casti by Kylie Luluai. As Adam Mogg gets us back underway, here's Sebastian Raguin. The Leeds man of the match tonight is Keith Senior, chosen by the sponsors. Here's Gorrell at dummy half, finds Alex Chan. Not the best pass. Here's Sinfield out for Ablett, and Ablett just lost his footing, and that's going to be a penalty. And the tackle was ruled as completed. As Sinfield with the touch finder. Burrow finds Lauatiti. Burrow at dummy half finds Sinfield. Sinfield looking to take the line on. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Maguire out for Clinton Tupy. Tupy pops it up for Ellis. And Ellis's turn, pops it out to Clinton Tupy. Tupy going crossfield looking for runners, straightens up Tupy and eventually goes to ground on the 30-metre line. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Burrow. Burrow looking to go underneath and still looking for that 100th try in Leeds colours. Lauatiti at dummy half finds Sinfield, pops it back to Jamie Jones, and was lazy more than anything from Bale. Last tackle for the Rhinos. Here's Maguire. Maguire gets around a couple. Maguire over the top. It's going to be all on. It's going to be all on for the Rhinos. They're going to get another set of 6. It was Adam Mogg who got hands to the ball. Here's Lauatiti at dummy half, finds Jamie Jones Buchanan. Jamie Jones gets to 21 metres away from the line. Here's Lauatiti again at dummy half, finds Bailey. Bailey straightens up and gets to within 15 of the line. Jamie Jones at dummy half finds Luluai, back to Jamie Jones, pops it back to Maguire. Here is Sinfield. Sinfield pops it back. Who's going to get there? Lawatiti does. And he's wrapped up by Adam Mogg. Burrow at dummy half finds Bailey. Bailey had Ablett in support but decides to stick hold. Here's Sinfield at dummy half. Here's Lawatiti, and Lawatiti will score. 2 minutes left on the clock, and it's the big man Ali Lawatiti who gets in for the try for the Rhinos. And here is Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt for the Rhinos. 10 metres in on the northern side of the ground, kicks on its way, it's low, oh, it's hit the post and bounced away. And we're in the last minute here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Engage Super League 13 round 3. It's Leeds Rhinos 34, Catalans Dragons 6. As Thomas Boss gets us underway. There goes the full-time hooter. Here's Tupi, and Tupi is going to take it. That's it, full-time here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Leeds go into the Carnegie World Club Challenge 4 from 4 and remain top of Super League after this 34 points to 6 victory here at Headingley tonight. From me, Matthew Horton, it's thank you and good night.